You know, it is stated that human beings only use. Look, the cars start coming as soon as I. That shows you this place is a computer system. Um, but it said that human beings only use 10% of their brain. All right, due to scientific research and study. All right, pertaining to knowledge. All right, how would they know that only 10% of the human brain is being used? Like, did they discover that with the 10% of their brain that they're using? Or, like, because if we got 90% of our brain that's not being used, right? Wouldn't there be studies or something like that for children in which how to utilize more of our brain? Wouldn't there be something that pertains to that? I mean, and how would you know that a human being only utilizes 10% of their brain? I could tell you right now, the way things are operating now, like how people communicate and their coordination, how they're conducting themselves, it seems like it's accurate. However, how can that possibly be measured? All right. Was there some type of statistical consensus, or is this just another one of the facts that goes into the crowdsourcing pool that becomes cliche that everybody accepts as some type of social norm? Are we content with only using 10% of our brain? You know what I'm saying? So we're saying that God created the human brain and only allowed us to use 10% of it. Does that make sense? See, there's too many things that's severely wrong here, pertaining to information, knowledge, the whole nine. But this is the world we live in. And as people get older, I can most definitely tell, you know what I'm saying, that something is severely wrong with the way society is operating. But nobody else seems to notice. There's not that many secrets in the world. All right, if they all happen to be Masons, it's not that many secrets in the world in which every single individual would know every single secret, else there wouldn't be secrets. The only secret there would be to leave me out of the loop, right? That would mean a lot of people would have to know me, which they don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I have social media. I don't have a girlfriend, and I don't have any friends here in Missouri. So the fact of the matter is this. If human beings are only using 10% of their brain, this would definitely be a problem. It really would. It really would. And the reason why I said how would they know this as a common consensus is the fact that if human beings only use 10% of their brain and they have this knowledge of the public consensus only using 10% of their brain, what would that mean? What were they studying? Possibly mind control of some sort, right? In which they were looking at the neurons light up, maybe using a CAT scan in people's brains, and realized that people were ultimately brain dead. If you only use 10% of your brain and you have 90% uncharted territory of your brain that has been used, and you know, individuals, you know what I'm saying, do all sorts of drugs and everything like that, and they're able to operate, you know, large motor vehicles and so on and so forth, then we have irresponsibility all the way marked up to the government and the education system. So the fact of the matter is this. When I walk around and I go from point A to B in town, I know people can't see, A, when they're walking their dog and their dog is walking them, they're not walking the dog, and B, 99 to 100% of people who communicate with me only do it when I have earbuds in. How remedial. Like, if you see I got earbuds in, right? I got weights in my hands, or if I'm walking along the road or whatever, wherever you're at, they feel drawn to talk to me. People didn't talk to me before at all. They feel drawn to talk to me. And when they talk to me, they're having a full-blown conversation. I got my headphones in. And I used to take them out and talk to them, but I'm like, why is it I always got to stop everything I'm doing for some individual that I don't even fucking know? Why do I got to stop my playlist? Why do I got to stop my song? It's not an emergency. there's no immediate reason why they really need to communicate to me any deeper than waving, and they need to do it. They're like impulsed or driven to do it. So I just point to my headphones and I say, I got my headphones in. I can't hear anything you're saying. I literally have to say that, and they get upset like a child. Okay, it's childish. And it's just like, well, you have eyes, right? Like, because back in the day, if somebody seen you had headphones in, they generally wouldn't bother you. If they absolutely needed to, they would make sure they had your attention first before carrying out a full-blown conversation that when I take my earbuds out and the times I do listen, they don't say anything. They don't have anything to say. Like, it's like super rudimentary, hey, how's it going, this, that, and the other. But other than that, and they'll just carry on with the conversation, and even though I just look at them, and I look at them plainly with the headphones in, I just give them a stare like this. You know what I'm saying? And they don't get it. So they must be blind, right? If they sense me there and they start talking to me and I got my headphones in and I don't respond to them, I mean, at what point in their own conversation that they're going to say, hey, I'm going to leave this dude alone because it seems like he got his earbuds in and he's busy. You know what I'm saying? That it never registers. I have to say something. You know, this is why I think this is a computer automated system. People driving around, this, that, and the other. I think this is all a simulation. The skies look painted. It looks like a Bob Ross painting. The trees, if you look at the leaves in the distance, the way they move, and the shimmer of the light that comes off the leaves, it could almost be digital. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what I mean about the projection of the reality that you exist in that is so-called existential is inside of you. You understand? It's your own mind. It's your own brain. This world that you exist in and what have you. And every matrix, all right, considering a womb, will have to formulate based around quasi fluidity and turn to produce, okay, some type of fruit. All right, you know what I'm saying? The placenta, the embryonic sac, you know what I'm saying? You still have all of those things. So if the world is a matrix and things of this nature, whatever is in your mind, so on and so forth, you know, you got to be cautious because those things can project. And while I say these things, I say your mind and not your brain. Although they call brain control mind control. They would have to study the brain because they don't deal with spiritual things. And the mind would be more of a spiritual concept. All right. But that which they can control is the brain. All right. So something is going on in this world, man. Peace and blessings be with you all. Why do we only use 10% of our brain? That doesn't make sense.